All right, friends, it's T-Man, and we're gonna do a reaction video to Jason Blaha's very old video he did about, I think it was about 8 years ago. So yeah, we're gonna react to this gym lifting, recruiting, fitness gear slave himself, Jason Blaha's video. That's right, man. We're gonna react to it all. So Jason Blaha says, "Can you do negative only training?" I'm gonna love this, man. I can't wait to make fun of this idiot. Shit, you remember that? Ice Cream Fitness? I once used this banner because I did videos on him on my old channel that was about 7, 8 years ago. Yeah. Okay.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here. I just got asked a couple hours ago down in the comments on the video that since most of muscle growth comes from the negative portion of the rep, the lowering of the weight, why can't
I love this. Most of the muscle growth, all of real muscle growth, happens in the negative.
we just do negative only reps for the purposes of gaining muscle?
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. You focus on negatives to build muscle. Yes, blah. Your dumb brain is a little bit too stupid to understand that, though. That's the problem because you don't have any experience. But I just love this video where you make up shit.
And I'm going to try to answer that question. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first.
Yeah, where's the biceps, man? I know. It's the concentric that builds muscle, right, Blaha? You've been doing that for what? The last 30 years. How's that been working for you? You still look the same. Check my community section. I posted your pictures.
All right, to clarify there, I've talked quite a bit about negative reps in the past, and the statement itself.
Okay, you can use the proper terminology, eccentric as opposed to concentric. In lifting, Blaha, we have two things. We have concentric and eccentric. The eccentric part would be, yes, negative, and the positive would be concentric. Yes, Blaha? Shall we agree with that? All right.
Is based upon a false premise that the actual negative reps contribute the most to muscle growth. That's simply not true.
That's a false premise. They do not contribute to muscle growth. Man, you gotta love this fucking bullshit, man. You just gotta love this guy. It absolutely correlates with muscle growth only. Concentric does not build muscles, you idiot.
Contribute to part of the muscle growth, and the concentric rep contributes.
No, it contributes to all muscle growth. It contributes to gaining muscle mass and gaining myofibrils in parallel and in series, and also getting new muscle fibers. Yes, a whole bunch of stuff, okay? Anyway.
Part of the muscle growth under normal conditions.
Normal conditions?
But a lot of...
What do you mean normal conditions? You don't really see, the problem is you lack experience in lifting. You're not an experienced lifter, and I'm older than you by 10 years. So I'll explain this to you, you idiot. In eccentric lifting, we call it in bodybuilding, we call it eccentric overload. Okay, that's where you get the maximal amount of damage and growth. Okay, there are other ways in using eccentrics to get growth, but we use them for specific things in lifting. So one of the things we do in lifting is we still can do a full range of motion, but we call that an overworking of an untrained muscle. You get it? So we can come back every week and still do the same exercises and still eke out damage. However, at a certain point, you will reach what we would call probably, we're really not working the deeper, weaker muscle fibers. So what do? We switch over to something called eccentric overload. And the terminologies that they use in that, they call it supra maximal eccentric overload. Okay, so that's what we call it. And So now it means that the weight is heavier than what you could make for a full concentric. Do you understand me? That's the difference. So the weight is very heavy. For example, if you could make a full concentric with 100 pounds, but you make the eccentric 140, well, we're going to lift the 140, but not make it for the full concentric that we would do for 100. There you go. Anyways, so now if we want to bust through certain plateaus, or we need a little bit of extra assisting. We can assist one arm or one limb or something. We need some extra damage or something, or maybe on a bench press or something. Well, then we're going to do something called just accentuated eccentrics. Okay, so they're assisted. So we're basically just doing the eccentric exercise. Like some of you guys in the powerlifting world, you just do concentric exercises, or you do concentric exercises without eccentric. See what I mean? Or you do full range of motion, but you're adapted to your eccentric. You just don't do enough. But in powerlifting, all you do is focus on concentric lifting. See what I mean? The concentric exercises do not build bodies. That's not associated with bodybuilding. Bodybuilders do eccentric exercises because that's associated with every type of muscle growth.
Very serious strength and conditioning programs actually have very little negative work, and they produce large
strength and conditioning work. All strength and all conditioning happens in the eccentric form. You just are confused. You think it's all about the concentric, but the way your body adapts to something leaving this planet going in the opposite direction, it just tweaks the nervous system. Do you understand me? That's all you're doing. So you can lift something heavy in the opposite direction, but going down eccentrically will always make you stronger and bigger and grow more myofibrillars and mass.
of hypertrophy by increasing the workload of the concentric and reducing the amount of negatives so that you recover more quickly. Because what you find is that
recover, we're not marathon runners. We don't recover, us bodybuilders. We grow, we repair and remodel after we get these micro damages from the eccentric exercise, because that's associated with eccentric exercise. Concentric, the shortening exercise where you're shortening a muscle, ass cheek squeezing like what you do in all your videos, that don't do shit. That don't do jack, dude. Get it?
The negative portion of the rep contributes oftentimes more to the structural damage to the muscle fibers, but that structural damage
yeah, it does. It does. Structural damage, yes, you idiot.
Due to some different factors like the repeat bound effect and other things doesn't.
What about the repeated bout effect? A lot of people don't understand what the repeated bout effect is, really. It doesn't happen in the session when you're actually damaging muscles. The repeated bout effect, what they're talking about is it's protected from the same exercises that you do when you come into the gym with a repeated bout. You understand me? So what do you need to do? You need to lift a little bit heavier or add more sets to your exercises, or you overwork that muscle. You overwork it. So duration and intensity. See what I mean? That's how you get over the repeated bout effect phenomena.
Allow you to consistently stimulate muscle growth, but it does negatively impact and slow down recovery. So there's more than one school of thought.
No, it doesn't slow down or impact recovery, because we're not recovering, we're building. Oh, man. And the shortest period of time is 7 days, you fool.
Here. And keep in mind, this has been studied. They have done research on negative only training when compared to similar.
I love this one. This has been studied. Man, everything is about eccentric exercise and PubMed and CBI. That's all they ever talk about. I posted, you remember on my old channel, my community section, I was wall to wall eccentric exercise. If you type it in Google, that's all that ever pops up. Eccentric exercise is superior to concentric in every fucking way, you dumbass. You dumb.
Types of training, doing both the positive and the negative. This has been done a lot over the years, and using actual machines to do the concentric reps. And what they have found is that negative only training, in order for it to equal normal training, you have to effectively increase the weight, oftentimes above what your normal 1 rep maxes are.
I love this one. You have to increase your weight. Yeah, when you get bigger, you get stronger, you increase that weight. Yeah. Yeah, duh. What are you doing when you do concentric exercising? What do? You increase the weight, you dumbass. Oh man, you just sit there with the same weight? No.
And have machines or spotters lift the weight and then do just the eccentric rep.
Do machines or spotters just do the eccentric rep? You're stupid. No, no, man. You do it like the way you assholes lift, you asshole power lifters lift. You just do the concentric, right? Well, we're just doing the eccentric, you fucking dumbass. Stupid.
And it then produces equal hypertrophy to normal training. But it does
Equal hypertrophy doesn't hypertrophy right away. Hypertrophy just means something's getting bigger. We're getting more of something that will create this hypertrophy effect, like the sarcomeres in series parallel, yada yada, myofibular growth and some mass. Bro, get it, man?
doesn't seem to produce superior hypertrophy, but there's some downfalls.
It does produce superior hypertrophy. That's why it says PubMed NCBI that eccentric exercise is superior to concentric in every fucking way.
This. You could train this way. You absolutely could, but you're either going to need machines or multiple spotters to help.
You don't need machines or spotters to help you. What it means is that the weight that's going down is heavier than what is going up. That's all. And so if it's heavier going down, when you pull on it, you won't make it for a full concentric. You understand me? Because it's too heavy. Like I said, if you could lift 100 pounds up, then 140 pounds should be going down, right? Okay. So if 140 pounds goes down, now you lift 140 pounds. Will you make it for the full concentric like you did with 100? No. You understand me? So then you know it is what? It is an eccentric overload. That's how you know. If you can't make it for a full concentric, and you could do it for multiple repetitions, right? And you can't make for a full concentric, you know that is an eccentric overload. So it's controlled, and you won't get injured because you're not doing it for the full concentric. If you were to do it for a full concentric, something that you couldn't manage at the top, and you were to lower it from the top to the bottom, you could get injured. Duh.
Lift the weight every time. And for anyone who's not a ranked novice, 110% of your squat is going to get real heavy for 3 or 4 spotters to try to pick up on every rep. So you're going to need a forklift or something to do it.
What are you talking about? Have you seen the way you squat, dude? It's concentric. Eccentric squat means that you're going all the way ass to grass and then going back up and down, ass to grass. You don't do ass to grass. That's an eccentric squat. I've seen your squats. They're all fucking concentric. So shut the fuck up.
And on top of that, we know that the more eccentric base your training is, the more soreness you get. So you're then going to suffer more soreness than you need to and have a huge hassle in the work for no additional growth, just to get equal growth with a different training style.
You get sore. That pain you're feeling is inflammation because you have some micro injuries in there, you dumbass. What the fuck? That is releasing the growth factors. That is what's triggering the growth factors. Duh.
So, in effect, this is a really ridiculous and inefficient means of training.
What? That is the best way of training. They use it for fucking rehab. They use it for sports people. They use it for people that want to become faster runners and a whole bunch of stuff in athletic sports. What are you talking about? What a dummy. Look online. A lot of people use it. They use it for vertical jump. If they want to jump higher, they use eccentric exercises, you dummy.
So I hope that clarifies the point and clarifies that question for anyone who's been wondering this. And that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will.
You see, this is the reason why this loser has failed, because he's so dumb. I don't know what else to say there, man. That video, Christ.
Talk to you guys next time.
Thank God that's over. I'll see you in the next one. Tell what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. That guy's such an idiot.